Hello and welcome to this training video. My name is Debbie Swallow and I've created this video as a guide to getting started and off the starting blocks with the Ranking Factory. If you are a newbie to internet or video marketing, then this is definitely the place for you. Even if you are new to the Ranking Factory, you may well find this guide helpful. So let's get started. As you can see from this diagram, I have divided the learning into 10 parts, and I'll divide the whole program into 3 separate videos for ease of assimilation. There is a PowerPoint and notes to accompany them, and at the end of this video there are links to the official videos, a list of frequently asked questions, and suggestions as to what other tools you might need to make life easier. There is an awful lot of learning to become proficient or truly proficient in using the Ranking Factory, and it can all seem quite overwhelming. I, for one, was very overwhelmed and saw people Skyping about things I really didn't understand and almost wanted to give up. So my whole aim in doing this video is to emphasize that you only need to learn the basics to get started. Learn that well and then move on to the next layer. Do it step by step. I also want to emphasize that this video in no way replaces the in-depth training videos and the PDFs that John has prepared, but I hope it does complement them. So what's the purpose of this video? The objective is to give you a thorough understanding of what you need to prepare to get started and to understand how the whole thing works. By the end of this, you will understand how to create a whole campaign, including stacking videos, running it 3 times, and interlinking them, all to give you juice, which is the term we use in the Ranking Factory for power and authority. I hope it will also give you the confidence to make a start quickly and not lose the weeks that I did, because I thought I might be breaking the thing. My advice to you is don't make a soup out of it. Don't be a perfectionist either. Just get on and make things happen. My friend and mentor Kevin Martin always says, fail quickly. So don't wait for everything to be just right. Get in quickly and see what works and what doesn't. Learn your lessons and move on. So let's move on to section 2. Why are we using the Ranking Factory in the first place? The principal aim of the Ranking Factory is to use the power of Google to dominate any niche and to rank one specific site or one money site. It focuses completely on using Google, and everything is done within the Google system. Ultimately, its aim is to get your site to its highest potential ranking position, hopefully number 1. And will sustain it. So how does it do that? The software creates a whole network of links to support and boost multiple Google elements and the YouTube videos within a closed loop. The loop becomes self-reinforcing and creates enormous authority and ranks up the powerful juice that comes from Google domains and Google properties. This then points to the Google site that the software creates, which then points to your money site. As we say, it creates a river of juice that flows directly to your money site. Fortunately, Google just loves itself so much that the more you fill your network with stacks of linking videos and silos of linking documents, nests of dynamic calendars and maps, the more powerful the network gets. And what's wonderful is that the software does it all automatically in just 2 or 3 hours, what it would take you 2 weeks to do manually. This diagram you will see often in the training videos and graphically depicts how all the elements in the network link to the Google site. Notice everything is within a closed loop within Google. There is only one link that goes outside this closed link, and that goes directly to your money site. So what's the secret sauce it refers to? Well, that's all the power, the dynamic, the authority and credibility it builds up within the closed loop and becomes an ever-increasing authority. Let's now just say a quick word about installation. I'm mentioning this because if you're like me, when things don't turn out as you think they're going to, you always think it's your fault. And usually it probably is. For most people, the software installs easily. But each time I launch the software, it asks me for a new license key. So that made me panic as I was quickly getting through all the ones that I'd bought. But support soon sorted me out. It settled down beautifully. So for any technical issues, go directly to the support team. They're great. I just want to mention briefly something to do with launching the software. My Ranking Factory shortcut on my PC will launch the software, but you shouldn't launch it like that. You should either right-click on your shortcut or go to the Ranking Factory folder on your computer and right-click on that and open it as administrator. It's always advisable to run the software as an administrator. The next issue I had with the software was when it opened and I was presented with a black box within the new screen that launched. It was another panic moment for me. I jumped straight onto the Skype group and someone told me not to panic. Debbie, it's just where a video used to be. The Skype group is fantastic. It's a real help on how-to issues. Everyone is immensely supportive. So if you have a problem or a question, don't hold back because you think everybody's going to think you're an idiot. Just jump in and ask for help. Our Ranking Factory buddies are truly awesome. One last thing you really do have to understand to make the software work is about entering the data. It's not called a factory for nothing. The software has real inputs and outputs, and just like a factory, they get moved around during the manufacturing process. So what you have to do is supply the factory with information and put it in the inputs folder, just like you would put raw material into a factory warehouse. When the software runs, it will move the information so it can use it, and when you return to the inputs folder, the information will be gone. It'll be all used up. That, by the way, was my next panic. The input and output folders you use for data are located within the main Ranking Factory folder on your system. As you can see from this diagram, there are input folders for each of the modules. Don't forget John's tutorials cover what needs to go into these folders. Let me now say a few words about the concepts that everyone talks about. As a newbie, I was completely flummoxed by some of the jargon that was used, so I thought it might be useful to mention it. And loud here, folks, I didn't have a clue what Google properties meant. A property to me had a roof on it and probably windows too, so my head got into a real spin when people use this phrase. Properties is the collective term used for items or elements within the Google system. Properties comprise Google Sites, Google Documents, Sheets, Calendars, Events, Maps, Comments, YouTube videos, Google Cloud, Google Plus pages, Slides. All of these are Google properties. Next, what about shorties? Shorties are shortened URL links, but they're not just any shortened link like a bit.ly. The software gets Google to create the links, so they carry much more authority. They are, in fact, another Google property. By creating shorties to shorties, the system double reinforces them, creating more juice and power. Now, proxies. What are they? Well, they're something that we don't need to concern ourselves when using the software, but you will find people mentioning them. So if you're like me, you will be wondering what it is you don't know. Everyone needs to have an IP address to access the internet. Serious internet marketers need to have lots of these addresses, which they use to disguise who they are or to create a perception about where they're located. When they use this term, they mean the ability to log into the internet without revealing who they are. The next thing to think about is spun text. By using spun text, you have the ability to use one article over and over again by making it appear unique through the use of substitute words. If you look at this article, you'll see groups of words located within curly brackets. The words are all synonymous, and the software will randomly choose a different word every time it uploads the article to the internet. To Google, it looks as though there are lots of unique articles on the same subject, which is saving you a mountain of time. Finally, what exactly is meant by your money site? The reality is this is the place you want to direct your audience to, and it might not have anything to do with money. This is the place where you want your audience to land. It could be a video, it could be a sign-up page. It's the ultimate destination. And now it's time for your first coffee break.